What's up, y'all? Out here at the range still, as you can see behind me, for another day of jelly testing. We got the contraption set up as normal, got the chrono, 2 blocks of gel. Now I have done one test on this gel already. It's a punch test, and I'll leave it a link up above if y'all hadn't checked that out. But as you can see by the title on this one, we're moving back to 9mm again. And what we're doing here is some more Silvertip testing. Now, I've done some Silvertip testing on the 115, I believe it was. It's been many, many months ago. I think it's one of the very first gel tests I ever did. And I tested it against, I think, HST. I can't really remember, but at any rate, the 115s did really well on that gel test, if I remember correctly. So this one was actually requested by one of y'all down in the comments for me to test the Silvertip 115s against the 147. So that's exactly what we're doing here today. As you can see, got the Silvertip, Winchester Silvertip 115 grain and the 147 grain. Now, as far as velocity on the box on these things, the 115's claiming 1225 at the muzzle. The 147 is claiming 1010 at the muzzle. It doesn't say what size barrel. And what we're using today is the Taurus GX4 with the 3-inch barrel. A lot of y'all seem to like it better when I do the testing out of these shorter barrels because it's something that people are more likely going to carry and use some kind of ammo like this out of. So that's what we're doing today, the Taurus GX4 with the 3-inch barrel. So this should be a pretty interesting. I'll be honest with you, I'm expecting both of these rounds, the 115 and the 147, to perform pretty well just from what I've seen in the past. So let me get y'all set up. We'll see what happens. All right, y'all, here we go. Let's get us some speeds on these things. We're going to start out with the 115 grainers here. I'm going to do a 3-shot average on it and see what they're moving. So let's see what we got, y'all. $10.85, $11.09, and $10.86, so not too bad out of just a 3-inch barrel. So let's go check out the average. All right, so the 3-round average on the 115 grainers was 1,093, so that's well short of the box advertised 1225. But again, 3-inch barrel is definitely not what they tested that out of. They wanted the most velocities they could for that box, so like all of them, they probably used some big long test barrel. But for our 3-inch barrel, real world purposes out here, we got 1,093. So let me reset it. Let's check out the 147s. All right, y'all, here we go with the 147s, and these are definitely going to be subsonic because if those didn't even hit, those were about 200 away from what the box said. This claims 1,025 on the box, so these are probably going to be moving pretty slow, but we're going to see what's going on. Going to do a 3-shot average on these also. $9.44. $9.25 and $9.27, so pretty consistent at least. Let's go down there and check the average. All right, so the 3-round average on the 147s was 932 feet per second, and if you remember those 115s, it was 1,093, so we're talking about 161 feet per second more out of those 115s, so that's a pretty significant amount. That's 10% more, so I expect a little bit of difference in performance in this gel, but we'll see what we get. Let me set y'all back up, and y'all know what time it is. All right, y'all, it's silver bullet jelly time. We're gonna start out with the 115 grainers and see what they do for us. So let's see what we get, y'all. I got a feeling these are gonna do pretty good. All right, look like a nice hit. Let's go down there and see what happened. All right, from what I can see so far down there, that 115 looks like it did pretty good. So let's see what the 147 can do for it. I'm gonna try to pay attention to see if I can tell any recoil difference too. I know a lot of people always ask me about it. But to be honest, out of these little 3-inch barrel little handguns, they're a little snappy anyway, so it's kind of hard to tell the difference in the grains, but I'll see if I can notice anything different. I'm gonna try to put this one up under that without going out the bottom. I got a little too far into the middle of my gel, but let's see what I can do. All right, moved it over a little bit and got under it, so let's go down there and see what those look like. All right, y'all, let's take a look at what we got here. So now there's two channels behind these, or like I say, those are from 22 punch, but I think you can see pretty good, like that little one on the top, that's a piece of that 22 punch. But the one right here, that's the 115 grainer, ended up out here. The one on the very bottom down there is the 147 grainer, and it carried out here into the second block. Looks like about 1.5 inches. We'll measure it here in a minute though. Now, before I forget, as far as the recoil, that recoil on that 147, it was actually noticeably less snappier, and maybe more of a push than that 115. So definitely less snappier. Actually, I feel like that 147 would be a little more controllable getting back on target, to be honest with you. So not a whole lot of difference, but it was a little bit of a noticeable difference there. Back to these wound channels now. This 115 wound channel, excellent looking wound channel there. Very, very nice wound channel. Real big wound channel came in, and this projectile is sitting kind of sideways here, not completely backwards, but it's sitting sideways facing downward. Looks like a little bit of the jacket is peeled off right there too, so it shed a little bit of material there. Now the 147 down on the bottom, not near as big of a wound channel, because as you'll see here shortly, it didn't hardly open up, which makes sense because it's moving a lot slower. But a lot bigger wound channel on this 115 than the 147. So let me get you a measurement on the penetration on them. All right, so penetration on the 115 was right at 11 inches, so a little bit shorter than what most people would want. So right at 11 inches on the 115. The 147 is all the way out here at 18 1/4. So 18 1/4 inches on the 147. Obviously, it wants a little bit longer barrel to get some more speed to perform like it's supposed to perform, for sure. So there's the difference in the penetration. One, to give you a quick overhead look on the wound channels. This one right here is the 115. That one down below is the 147. As you can see, way bigger wound channel on that 115. Carries out to there. In the 147, like I say, into the second block there. And you can already see it's not expanded nearly as much as that 115 right there. So, but mainly just wanted to give you a quick look overhead so you can see just how much bigger that 115 wound channel is. All right, y'all, let's get some data on these projectiles. I don't think it even needs to be said that this is the 115 on the right, the 147 on the left. As you can see, not even close as far as expansion. I mean, not even close. Huge difference on the expansion, which, like I say, it's to be expected. This was moving a whole lot slower than this 115 was. And now, that being said, did the 115 get enough penetration? That's definitely debatable. I would like to see something in between, to be honest, but I guess we can't have everything we want, not with these rounds anyway. So anyway, let's get a little data on them. Let's do some weight on them. We'll start with the 115 first. So the 115 obviously started at 115. And we're left with 114.4. Like I say, I can see a piece of the pedal of the jacket there, so I expected that. So 114.4 on that one. The 147 ended up at 147.0, 147 on the dot. So it didn't lose anything at all, which I could tell there was no shrapnel left in the wound channel at all. Now, as far as size, this is where there's going to be a huge difference. So we'll start with this 147. This 147 is 0.50, 0.47, 0.48, 0.50 there. So basically about a 0.50, so about a 1/2 inch on that 147. So the 115, we're looking at 0.58, 0.61, 0.60. Yeah, 0.60 there, so about 1/10 of an inch bigger. It looks even more than that, to be honest with you. It's significantly bigger than that 147 is. I mean, a lot bigger. You can see it's a lot bigger. But of course, the trade-off is you didn't get near the penetration out of this 115 that you did the 147. So which would you rather have if you had to choose one of these? I mean, I don't know. I think that's a tough call. Y'all let me know in the comments what you think. All right, y'all, another jelly test in the books. This is a pretty interesting one here again. This is one of them, I think, where it's a case of different strokes for different folks. Which would you rather have? For me, it's a tough call. Usually when I say something and then I go back and edit these videos, once I watch the slow-mo and kind of watch how that thing hits the jelly like it does, sometimes it changes my mind. From what I'm seeing without checking out the slow-mo and all yet, I would probably lean towards this 115 more, just because I feel like it may have dumped a little more energy initially into the gel block. I don't know yet. Like I say, I might change my mind after I see it played back and sit down and do the calculations on it. But I don't know. It's kind of a tough call. I'd like to see more penetration than that, a few more inches at least. But you know, a lot of people would argue that the 147 over penetrated, and through clothing or a different barrier that might cause it not to expand even more, it may over penetrate, whereas the 115 through clothing or some kind of different barrier, it may cause it not to expand quite as much, and then you might get that extra penetration. So right now I'd probably lean towards the 115. Now as far as the recoil on it, that could come into play also. If you really have problems with a little snappy gun, this 147 was noticeably less snappy than that 115. Like I say, you could feel more of a push, like you could tell it was a heavier round, but definitely less snappy. It was noticeable less snappy on that 147. But y'all let me know down in the comments, which one would y'all take if you had to choose one of these, all things considered. Let me know which one would be your choice. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you hit the thumbs up button, make sure you subscribe and hit that bell notification icon so when I upload new videos you can get notified and check them out. Check and make sure you are still subscribed if you're supposed to be subscribed, or you want to be subscribed. Make sure you hadn't been unsubscribed for whatever reason. Check my Amazon storefront affiliate link down in the description. Like I always ask you, if you shop through Amazon anyway, hit that link up first and go straight through Amazon from there like normal. No extra time, no extra money, and anything you buy anywhere on Amazon after you go through that link first, we get a kickback from them for the channel, so I greatly appreciate that. Appreciate all my Range Gang members, like I always tell you, who reached out and hit that join button. I really thank y'all for that. Appreciate each and every single person who watches my videos, thumbs up, subscribes, and leave me comments down below. Like I said, let me know what your choice on these 2 rounds would be. Got several more videos I'm doing out here today, so y'all make sure y'all stay tuned for them. And in the meantime, stay safe, stay prepared, and I'll see y'all soon.